have you ever wondered, can a mother search for her child even after death? In a small village in Uttar Pradesh, there was a place called Shivpura. During the day, it looked completely ordinary. Fields stretching into the distance, narrow dirt lanes, elderly men sitting on platforms under banyan trees. But once night fell, it felt as if even air in the village stopped moving out of fear. People said that after midnight, beneath the old peepal tree near the fields, a woman dressed in white could be seen sitting quietly. There was something in her lap, like a newborn baby, and on her lips only one whisper, "Where is my child?" At the far edge of the village stood a modest house made of brick and mud. It belonged to Dharmveer, his mother Gomti, and his father Ratanlal. A few years earlier, a young woman named Kavya had entered that house as a bride. Within the first weeks of marriage, Kavya realized she was not treated like a daughter-in-law. She was treated like a servant. "What did your father even give us? 2 trunks and a few utensils?" Gomti would taunt her regularly. Kavya stayed silent. She believed things will improve with time, but time only made everything harsher. 3 years passed. No child's laughter echoed in the house. First came whispers, then came open blame. Girls these days, they come into a house and stop the family line. At the village well, women would glance at her and murmur, "That's the one, right? The one who can't have children." Even Dharmveer began speaking cruelly. "My friend already has 2 kids," and here he never finished the sentence. The truth was, no proper medical tests were ever done. No real consultation with a doctor. Just accusations, directed solely at Kavya. Every night, Dharmveer returned home drunk. A woman's duty is to continue the family line. If you can't even do that, what use are you? Slaps, pushes, her body hitting the wall. Kavya rarely cried aloud. She would simply place her hand on her stomach and think, "If I can become a mother, everything will change." In the 5th year of marriage, one morning, she felt dizzy. After an examination, the doctor smiled. "Congratulations, you're going to be a mother." That day, Kavya looked at herself in the mirror and smiled genuinely for the first time in years. "There is a life inside me." But at home, she was the only one who felt joy. Gomti said coldly, "Good. Once the baby is born, we'll send her back to her parents. We only need an heir." Dharmveer laughed. "The child will be ours. You're just the means." In that moment, something inside Kavya shattered. Despite her growing belly, her workload did not lessen. From dawn to night, sweeping, washing utensils, cooking, carrying water from the fields. She was given stale bread to eat, sometimes only salt with it. The doctor had warned her, "You are severely weak. If you don't take care, both you and the baby could be in danger." But in that house, her health meant nothing. At night, she began having terrifying dreams. Someone was pulling the baby out of her womb. She would scream, "No!" One evening, Dharmveer returned home heavily intoxicated. The food was slightly cold. You did this on purpose. He threw the plate to the ground. The first slap, then another, then kicks. Kavya fell to the floor, both hands clutching her stomach. For my child. Please stop! But no one stopped him. Within moments, her voice faded into silence. The room fell still. Gomti spoke in a flat tone. What do we do now? Ratan Lal replied, if this spreads, we'll be ruined. They decided no funeral, no rituals, no noise. That night, under darkness, they dug a pit in the field behind the house. Kavya was buried in the same clothes she died in. Her hands were still resting on her stomach. 3 days passed. On the third night, Gomti suddenly woke up. She heard the faint sound of a newborn crying. Listen, a baby is crying, Dharmveer snapped. There is no baby, but the crying did not stop. The next night, Ratan Lal saw a shadow in the courtyard. A woman in white, something in her lap. She was humming a lullaby. Kavya. He blinked, and the figure vanished. After that, every night carried the same sound, crying whispers. One night, all three slept in the same room out of fear. Doors locked, windows shut. Suddenly, the room turned icy cold. The window burst open on its own. In the darkness, a figure appeared, hair floating in the air, eyes hollow and empty. A baby in her arms, though no one could see it clearly. Her lips moved. Where is my child? Their breath began to choke in their throats. They couldn't even scream. By morning, villagers broke down the door. All three were found dead, their faces frozen in terror. Fear spread across the village. A holy man was called. He picked up soil from the field and smelled it. A pregnant woman was buried here without rites. The earth was dug up. Kavya's body was found. Her parents were summoned. Her mother collapsed upon seeing her daughter. Proper last rites were finally performed. Even today, villagers say that after midnight, the air near that field suddenly turns cold. Sometimes, beneath the peepal tree, a shadow can still be seen. A child in her arms, unfulfilled motherhood in her eyes, and on her lips the same question. Where is my child?